Yeah, it's been a fair few years. Maybe 5 years ago, Mikey and Zach and I came back for the first time. It was also very late at night, and there was just nothing. Nothing here. Just I'd been told that Diff had been torn down, but actually seeing it was a little that got me a little emotional. Now seeing it being rebuilt upon and the area now, it's a shock. It's so different. Yeah, that was my room over there.
Yeah.
I'm sad too that I didn't come soon enough when Diff Araki had a restaurant there or something too.
Yes.
Yeah, I never got to experience that.
ちょうどあの辺がリファがあった場所ですね。
Here was the Diff slightly underneath was where we slept and ate. Then the office level where we would hang out, and then up top was the gym, which a lot of the gym equipment's still the same, but up there, yeah. No, there's also a music venue at times too. I remember once the Killers played. Do you know the band The Killers? Famous American band played, and we had up in the gym there was a doorway, 2 doors, and you could go to the top area. And I remember going, I went to see what I could hear the music, and I didn't know what band was playing, and I'm like, that's The Killers. Yeah. Kobashi-san. Kenta Kobashi-san. Yeah, every morning he was the first. We wake up and we'd go to the bathroom, and he'd already have been working out for an hour, and he was always so friendly. I always felt bad waking up and he was already training. He'd already been training, and I was like, oh no, I should be training. If Kobashi-san is training right now, I need to be training. I need to be training harder, but our training was after. But he'd still be there when we'd start training, and he was such a friendly, nice guy. I think he always listened to the one CD. Every time he was playing out, it was the one, same songs every time. There's also always, because it was our job to clean the dojo before we train, and you could always tell when we call it Hurricane Kobashi, because every piece of weight used and everywhere. That spirit of never giving up that I see in Noah and I see in the GHC title, that's something that I've seen in the Japanese people. And I learned that very early on in 2011. I think it was our first tour here, the giant earthquake that happened. That was the first earthquake I'd ever actually experienced in person. And Mikey and I were just down there in the basement watching TV on the laptop, and everything started to shake. And we're like, and just seeing the buildings move, everything move and everything shake. And then we were told how bad it actually was. I remember we were given the option to go back home. The NOAA office said, if you feel unsafe, you can go back home. And what I saw from the Japanese people is them getting and still going to work, them picking their things up and moving forward. And I thought, well, if the people aren't stopping, then why should I stop? And that was a huge lesson for me of the Japanese people and their fighting spirit, and that's something that I want to live up to. Yeah, sure, he's powerful. I've wrestled powerful people before. A lot of powerful people, especially back in the day. There was a lot of big boys in Noah, a lot of strong fighters. But he is heavy. He's not only powerful, he is heavier than what I thought. I've met big boys before, I picked them up, but he is dense. Yeah, he likes to stay to the ground. I had an initial strategy before getting into the ring with him, and that was just how I usually do things, and that's just by slamming people. I mean, in this building in Ariake, I had my first and only GHC heavyweight title shot against Kenta. Kenta, definitely not the same size as Inamura, but in that match, I think I gave Kenta 7 or 8 power bombs. I'm not sure if I'll hit the same on Inamura. So I'm not going to give away anything, but I have thought of a different strategy to beat him. You need to be versatile like that as a wrestler. I wrestled Kenta for the GHC heavyweight title here. And then just across the road, Mikey and I wrestled many different people. We won our first ever GHC heavyweight tag titles just across the road against Yano and Izuka, and their style is very different to Kenta, very different to Inamura, and we adapted and we won that one. So a lot of history in this area with GHC titles. But I try not to think about that too much because, to be honest, I didn't really even know Ozawa before this, and I think Ozawa knows the GHC title match should be in the main event. Ozawa just thinks he should be in the main event. Regardless, I think his ego wants him to be in the main event, and he wants to piggyback off of Naito's fame to get them into the main event. But all their fandom, all their pageantry, as soon as the bell rings, it's not going to be a GHC style match. I'm very confident it should be the main event. I have zero doubts in my mind that it is going to be the better match. We are going to have people on the edge of their seats. I've faced Inamura a tiny bit, and I can tell the fight that he has in him, that he's not going to, this will not be a quick match. I'm going to have to beat him down. I'm going to have to break him. I've watched his title matches before, and I know what it's taken to not beat him. So I know how much further I'm going to have to fight to beat him. And we're gonna have a hell of a battle. How sore my body was after facing Kenta here, my body's gonna be 100 times more sore after I beat Inamura. And quite frankly, I don't think Naito or Ozawa have that kind of fight in them anyway. I think Naito and Ozawa will be a great spectacle for the fans to come and watch. I want the fans to come, and then they can tell us after who had the better match. Come decide for yourself. I mean, it's going to be an easy decision, but please, everybody come, support both matches. I think it's going to be it's a great chance for during that show, during Naito's entrance, if you need to go to the toilet. You can go to the toilet, come back, and you won't have missed anything. I think it gave us, living at the Noa Dojo definitely helped because it gave us a lot of discipline. Sometimes living here was very tough. The conditions were very small. Like we had three to six of us in one room with no windows, barely any air conditioning. Big boys, especially Jonah. Jonah's a big boy, but you just do it because pro wrestling is what we love, and that's what we want to do. We had to do that. We had to go train every day, essentially restart and learn. But it was beautiful because when we got here, we realized we were champions in our home country, but to the rest of the world, we still had so much more to grow. No, I'll never leave Team DK. Team DK, I am Team DK. A person can be two things. I will represent Team DK when I'm with Team DK, and at the moment I'm representing White Raven Squad. I'm very happy to be a part of two teams. Noah to me means hard work. It is really that fighting spirit of being the best warrior in that ring that you can be. The GHC heavyweight title means the world to me. It is my favorite title in all of pro wrestling. I grew up watching WWE, and I loved that kind of American pro wrestling as a child. As I got into my teenage years, I came across a tape of Pro Wrestling Noah, which I didn't even know was Pro Wrestling Noah. I just saw Japanese wrestling for the first time, and it was Kenta Kobashi GHC heavyweight title, and it blew my mind. I'm like, this is what pro wrestling can be and should be. This is the best pro wrestling I've ever seen. So to me, the GHC title is a dream, and to win it would be a dream come true. Yes, very much. And then that's also lends into what the GHC heavyweight title means to me, that honor, that global honor. Honor is the most important word in that for me. And that goes with that Noah spirit of the GHC title matches that I've seen. And I've been lucky enough to, when I started to be ringside for them, is a match where you see two guys give absolutely everything, and I'm like, that's what more can these two people give? Kick out, and then they keep fighting. That's what that title means. The GHC title means going further than what you can even think that yourself can do. Everybody, whether you're a fan of mine of new or a fan of mine of old, if you are a White Raven Squad fan or if you are a TMDK fan, make sure you are there at Ryogoku. Support me, support Pro Wrestling Noah, support pro wrestling.